the heart of a warrior. What does it mean to be one? Determination, aggressiveness, overcoming. Teams depend on these hungry souls. It takes more than just strength. It takes more than just practice. There are so many warriors out there. So we return to crown a new champion. So squad up.
Looking for two, here comes Mythic around the corner. Great time out of Fresh, he doesn't finish the kill. They've got killed towards the point. 5 more seconds is all that...
It's match day.
Still in the driver's seat of the series, but if Monolithic wants to make that change, now is a good time to start. Out of Knights Templar, a free 40 seconds, now another 15. They're gonna get basically a full 60 on P4.
I work it out. And I'll be somewhere that you need me, and I'll be holding my breath, waiting for you to show.
Hope is hope right now. Oh, Lord! Oh,
Feed him, 7 lead, season 3 thus far. God damn it, I'm hyped. K7, you just got a trait here.
And welcome back to the headquarters here at K7. I, of course, am Educatinator, joined by the Shiftin' Shifty, shifting in his chair right now. How you doing today, Shifty?
I'm good, man. I'm good. It's been a long time since I've been here. I'm ready to be back and get into the groove of things here at K7. We've got a banger matchup here with some potential playoff implications in that Charlie division. But before I get there, how are you doing?
I'm doing really good. Thanks for
I
asking.
love to hear that. I love to hear that for you.
Yeah,
we do have a great match, though, don't we? I mean, look at this lineup.
These guys have been able to just really knock me out of the ballpark. Every time I look at what they do, it's been kind of insane. And I'm looking at the group stage stats right now. And so far, every one of these guys is eligible to make it into the playoffs, of course, which are going to be, I believe, 12 teams. 12 teams make it to playoffs. So looking at how these guys have been rocking it, it's kind of crazy to be seeing how much Vanguard Gaming, though, has been absolutely crushing it. 6-2. So clean overall when it comes to each round, which is a total of 2-6. So very proud of these guys. One thing though, Kingsman, technically the lower seed right now. They're about 2 points underneath where they should be if they want to be on even playing fields of Vanguard Gaming here.
Yeah, definitely some implications more for the side of Kingsman. However, I was told before the stream started that Big Body Gang here in the 3rd place spot in our Charlie division did win by forfeit to Arctic Gaming. So at this point, Kingsman almost having a sure lockup of playoffs, but if Vanguard come out here swinging 3-0, quick, hot, fast 3-0 onto Kingsman, and that could knock them down into the 4th place position, and they very well may lose this playoff spot. So big implications for Kingsman. They need to come out and have a good showing. Speaking of those map wins, let's take a look at our maps and modes presented by Get Good Technologies. Here we have Hydro, El Asilo twice, Hotel and Embassy. What are you thinking?
Honestly, what I'm thinking is seeing Hydro first, especially since we know that it's going to be Hardpoint. It's going to be a hard map to fight on because Hardpoint, Hydro, it's pretty tough. Okay, I've seen it happen a few times. We've seen people go for the swim, but some of them end up sleeping with the fishes. So it's not going to be the greatest place to be. But I'm looking at the double El Asilo. That is kind of crazy to me. I don't see that very often. I just saw it, unfortunately, on S&D though. So S&D El Asilo, it's very attack sided. And same with the control, I would say it's defense sided. So it becomes a little bit of an issue once it gets down. But if these are the first 3 maps, these might be the only 3 maps we see. If we see another 3-0 sweep, and I know that when we talk about 3-0s, that definitely happened here for both teams, actually. They were both able to get a 3-0, at least once so far in the group stages. But then Hotel Embassy, very standard stuff.
Agreed. I mean, I think, in my opinion, the big red flag that we're going to see from either team here is on this Hydro and these 2 El Asilo maps, how well can your ARs perform? Your ARs are going to be absolutely instrumental on this Hydro hardpoint, getting those early rotations and allowing your sub players to flow free around the map. Sub players notorious for struggling here on Hydro. It is a very difficult map unless you can get in and around that hill consistently, and that is really set up by how well your ARs are watching over your head here on those long sight lines. So Hydro going to be big key to the ARs. I think El Asilo, we're going to see the same thing on control specifically. So whoever's ARs come out to swing heavy here, I think very well may put themselves in a good position to take this in 3 or 4 maps.
Absolutely. And of course, before we talk about the rosters and all of these guys, let's head back to the quick here headquarters brought to us by Gorilla. The Gorilla headquarters have some of the best places to be because we're here, okay, on the cameras. Just saying that right now. But with that joke aside, of course, if you guys ever want to see the full stats of anything happening, I know that me and Hero have worked tirelessly to make sure that we have a Liquipedia page with up-to-date information regarding what goes on, all things, including all of the teams in there. But let's also take a look at, first off, I want to see the team here for Vanguard. I want to see Vanguard's roster because I've seen them compete, and some of these guys are moving around a lot. Vanguard's roster changes quite a bit.
I mean, I feel like that's a pretty similar situation with a lot of amateur teams nowadays. I mean, you see this sort of pop and swap mentality, but there are some players here that I have seen. Wheezy in particular, a long-standing player inside the K7 League, so very talented one at that. I'm excited to see how he meshes with the rest of this Vanguard gaming squad. On the opposite side, we've got some well-known names here for Kingsman. Marskies, Dawn, PNXC, and Nebron, especially Marskies. His stint with Final Form during the last season. Excited to see him and his squad bring it to life here on Hydro. Again, welcome to K7 Match Night here, presented by all of our lovely partners. Oscure, I believe it's Oscure. Yes, Oscure Tech, Kindred Sauces, and Gorilla. I'm excited to be here tonight. And what are we seeing here?
We're seeing someone absolutely having some fun flinging her knife around at the beach shoreline, but is it going to be D-Day? Are they going to storm the beaches and clutch it up? That's going to be Kingsman on the side here to really hit these picks. But Doomsday aside, let's find the real picks as they are running it down, knife out, straight towards the first capture point.
Yeah, a nice 2-2 split for the side of Kingsman here. You're going to see, obviously, that top dome control going to be so important as Marski's popping a 2-piece right off of the break. Going to give some initial P1 control, and look at that. He is pushing up, cutting off mid, already trying to pin them back in that P5, back P3 spawn area. This is going to be incredibly important for Vanguard. You want to look at that mini-map and make sure that they've got somebody rotating. It looks like number 4 may be the playmaker here trying to rotate for P2 spawns.
Yeah, might be able to seal the deal, but look at Ghost swimming their way around, trying to find a decent flank. The potential is definitely around here, so this is going to be pretty interesting. I love what we've seen so far from Kingsman, though. They have racked up a streak. Everyone good for 2 so far, except for LeBron, but LeBron James is unfortunately not going to be able to do a slam dunk, as these guys are just camping corners, holding the point and playing the objective beautifully so far.
Yeah, really nice job stacking P2. This is an incredibly important hill. You can screw up greatly if they don't win their gunfights inside P2 like they aren't right now. Pinstripe kill feed, but it is going in favor of Kingsman at the current moment. Wheezy going to be your big hallelujah Hail Mary player, but not going to see Marski's around the corner, and we are seeing absolute textbook control from the side of Kingsman. It was a great attempt from Vanguard to push around that P4 side and attempt to flip the spawns, but you can't flip the spawns if you're not going to win the gunfights.
That is true. You're going to want to try to just take control of where people are spawning, and that is what these guys seem to have been kind of locking down. But look at Zappa taking out Dawn pretty clean here, but I got to hand it to Kingsman. They have not given up a single point quite yet ever since they took it back there. They took it early on as well. They allowed 2 points and then just was like, okay, that's all you're getting this game, and they are consistently doing it. But now new hard points here. Who's going to take it first? It's control room. Who's got the control? And unfortunately, it's going to be Vanguard Gaming now, making me eat my words, as Kingsman is going to allow some points back in the flow of Vanguard.
Ooh, I like seeing that Lockman 556 out of Scat. I know since the update, the most recent update, we've seen some new weapons here in and around the meta. Scat trying to do some big things at P3, but Marski's and company. Look at this flank by Marski's. He's being very clever in the water. Zappa got the ears turned to 11, though. He's going to be able to cut that off and make it a second as well. Make it a third. He is absolutely single-handedly pinning this Kingsman spawn. And if you're going to flip it for the side of Vanguard Gaming, a good, solid hold on P3 mixed with some good rotations to P4 is a good way to bring this game back to null.
And it might be good enough, but look at Don bouncing up and down and making sure to have a beautiful level aim, taking out another one and leveling the game. This is what Kingsman needs to do, as they have now claimed a new point before Vanguard seals the deal and grabs it yet again. This is going to be over on trail, so let's see if these guys are going to be trailing some picks, as Marski's and PNXC are also down. Not exactly ideal here for the side of Kingsman, but they might be able to keep it going.
Yeah, 40 seconds left in this hard point here, is P4 control pretty much well in hand of Vanguard Gaming. Zappa here going to be snaking on the middle box. Nice play from him as he's locked down the front side, as well as Wheezy inside the hard point. PNXC and Marski's again making humongous plays on the backside of P4, but you almost have to wonder, was it too late? I mean, it's awfully early to be worrying about this 20 seconds of scrap time, especially when you already have a 20-second lead. My vote, just rotate for P5, but Dawn doing just that. PNXC gonna make me eat my words, as now they should have backside P5 spawns.
Let me cut you off there for a second. I just want to point out what Zappa just did. Zappa was 0 and 4 and then proceeded to get an 11 kill streak. Ooh. They're 11-5 right now. But Zappa, what was that? Now back again to not getting any kills per life. I just wanted to point out what Zappa was doing, because it was absolutely insane while we watched Marski's holding it down. But now they have the point. Obviously, Zappa getting kills isn't going to win the game, but it's still something just immaculate to watch. And hopefully Zappa can bring that kind of heat back, because their team needs it. They're down 50% right now, and that deficit ain't going to leave anytime soon with Don and Marski's mowing them down.
Yeah, they have textbook control here inside of P5. If you look, you have somebody watching in almost every direction, as now they're going to be rotating again for that second rotation reset. But again, I think we've seen very classic textbook hardpoint play here from Kingsman. Vanguard having some flashes in the pan, of course, with Zappa going on an 11 kill streak. That is hard to deny the skill there, as Kevin Durant. Got to be weird seeing Kevin Durant hop up and down on that bridge heady. But again, Kingsman, just really a master class in map control right now.
And that was a masterclass in trigger discipline from Wheezy, able to pick up the pace and get a clean shot down on a Dawn. But now Scat here for more, but no, jumping out of the window. You were taught as a kid not to do that, and that's why you die. And now it's going to be Zappa and Wheezy still getting the picks and maybe finding some more. But they have to hold this point, but they've been tippy-toeing off of it. But Dawn is tippy-toeing the picks as now 10-10. The score is here for them. And they still have that lead, but it's slowly getting brought back by Vanguard, but they cannot risk any more points getting easily held here.
Yeah, just a small, by the way, 42 kills combined coming out of the top 3 members from Kingsman. Only 3 coming from Nebron. He's having a rough map, but obviously the rest of the players from Kingsman able to pick up the slack as now they are about to potentially clips 200 points on this P2 hardpoint. They did such a good job of holding it down during the first rotation. Again, if you're a Kingsman fan, you're looking for that same type of output. Vanguard going to be trying to break through the front here.
Yeah, trying and succeeding, though. Zappa with the picks, getting Dawn down. We got Ghost Nami, unfortunately, not going to be able to hold that. Being able to grab one, but look at this. They still have the point, but everyone's just laying down, taking some naps and getting some picks. These guys know how to take advantage of mobility here. But talk about mobility as these guys are trying their best to move their way onto the point and maybe take their points back. But they were at a double point lead, and now they are slowly losing it here. And Vanguard has a good chance of bringing it back.
Yeah, they really do. I mean, we've seen this multiple times, right? We've seen Vanguard get early rotations, but the big problem has been winning their initial gunfights and getting that initial control, as Marski's playing a huge factor in that. 18-7 is he. Zappa 21-10, most kills in the lobby. You really want to see Scad, Ghost Nami hop in some hill time, try and play around your teammates here. Is I'm sure Zappa's got to be upset having 21 kills right now and being down by 50 points still, but by no means is Kingsman out of the woods quite yet, especially with some nice strings of initial kills here on P3 for the second time in a row. We see Vanguard string together some solid time for their squad. Marski's again on the flank, though. Got to be wary of that water push.
Yeah, and I gotta hand it to Hero, being the hero with the camera movement here. Finally, we're seeing something more dynamic. But talk about dynamic gameplay. It's Kingsman taking the games. Now, there it is. Where are you looking? Brian gunning down from the back. And this is going to be the final part of this point to, I believe, Vanguard. Unless Dawn has something to say about it. Let's find out. Dawn. The new Dawn, a new day. And unfortunately, not your day. Another pick down, and that is Vanguard Gaming having to now rotate to the hard point that Kingsman's already set up on.
Yeah, that was exactly what you wanted for Kingsman. Again, they have a decent enough lead that they were able to chalk P3 with about 20 seconds left and begin traversing across the map. That is the problem. We see nice two-piece from PNXC with the streak that may open up the backside, and it will not happen, though. Great entry kills from the side of Vanguard, but again, that's what we see here, right? We see Kingsman with that sizable enough lead that they're able to rotate early. However, the script flipped. Vanguard winning all of their initial gunfights and have sucked up probably about 20 seconds here on P4 in a situation that really they had no right to be winning.
Yeah, they didn't have the right, but they have the fight to put up, and they are absolutely knocking these guys out of the game right now. So close. Look at the lead. They were up by 70, maybe even up by 80 at one point. But now, let's see what they can do. Up by 6. Not exactly where you want to be, but the hard points rotating, and we are going to see if they can seal the deal. First to 250, as we know, but going to see how they're going to bring it to the show with a clean headshot from PNXC, and they are still looking for some more. But wait, did they not spot the player in the water? Oh, now they do.
Smells blood in the water like a shark. He's got to finish this kill, though. That would have been a huge entry for Vanguard. And we're seeing, again, that early rotation for Kingsman. They were playing it well, able to rotate and get control. Wheezy really going to be the player to make a difference here if he can. Big shots out of the water, but he will get cut down. Marski's the hero player here on this P5 hard point, now making it a second with some help from Dawn. This is going to be a tough break for the side of Vanguard, and they have to go now. This is winnable territory for Kingsman by quite the margin, and on the minimap, it looks like the orange arrows are getting absolutely obliterated. Kingsman going to eliminate Vanguard here in this first map, 250 to 201. What a back half of the game for Vanguard. And if you're Vanguard, you got to carry that momentum into map number 2.
Yeah, absolutely. And they definitely brought it here to do the damage. This is what we want to see from game 1. But this is the last time we're going to see Hydro today. So we can all wave bye-bye to one of my favorite maps, honestly. It's kind of grown on me. I didn't know too much about it, but then after just a whole lot of casting, a whole lot of playing Hydro, it has to be there for me. But with sleeping in the fish with the fishes, it's going to be game 1 going away from Vanguard and to Kingsman. So now we're going to be on El Asilo, and we're going to be here at the Gorilla headquarters. K7 season 6 never looked so nice. Thank you again, Gorilla. But let's talk a little bit about how these guys have been able to do the damage. I'm looking forward to what these guys have, but with that rough start from Vanguard, I'm kind of worried for them.
Yeah, I am too. I think one thing that would be really important to remember here, right, is that you had this incredible stretch, the back half of that hard point from the side of Vanguard, and I think it was mainly on the crux of their AR play, right? We saw such huge increases in their kills, especially towards the middle and back half of that game. So with El Asilo being a very long sightline map, if you play it correctly, those ARs are going to be extremely important. So want to see that fire come out again that we saw in the back half of that hard point. But again, as you know, the sub play just as important. We're going to want to see some of these players pick it up just a notch. Particularly, I'd like to see Scad and Ghost maybe go huge here inside the A-bomb side of El Asilo, as they can really play aggressive and play to their strengths here if they can get into the faces of Kingsman. They're not out of it quite yet.
Yeah, they definitely have not been able to put up a good fight yet, but that doesn't mean that we can't see a dethroning here. KingsmanGG, they're not quite ready to take the cake, as that was only game 1 of a best of 1. So let's see if they can do more damage to find these picks and hopefully win it. But this is, of course, going to be S&D, search and destroy. You're not going to have that many lives, and hopefully with players really popping off, El Asilo is going to be where we can start seeing them. And if they win one map here, then that's going to be on the next map as well, the same location. So that could bend them to maybe take this back. They went down 1, they could go up 2, so might be a little bit risky. But what are your thoughts of S&D on El Asilo?
I mean, I think it depends on the team, right? I think there's one of 2 dynamics that you see, I feel like, on El Asilo. You see the patience is a virtue dynamic. You see the long sight lines at B. You see potentially a sniper up in the top white side on offense, or up over in that top AC area on defense, trying to survey the long side of the map. Or you see the, put your head down and run dynamic, which to me, I think is going to be better for a team that maybe had some greater sub presence. But if that first map on a hard point is indicative of anything, then I think what it is indicative of is that Vanguard needs to play to their strengths, maybe have Zappa pull out a snipe, and watch those long sight lines try and break into B, and then use A as the fallback bomb site. But you and I both know that's hardly ever how it goes. We see the nose to the grind, sprint to A quite a bit. So I think it'll be an interesting match for sure, but I think it'll depend on which way they want to go.
Yeah, and honestly, let's see how it's going to go. Is it going to go crazy, or is it going to be perfect? Gorilla here has made sure that we have the aerial view and some insights for us. But let's talk a little bit of insights as to what makes El Asilo so hard to take on attack. In my opinion, they do a very clean job of getting A. Attack has an ability to flank. It has the ability to get everywhere you need. The defense not looking too clean, but it's the B site that is so hard to take on attack. It forces them to get into a parking lot and somehow not get shot. That's pretty tough because it's just a flat, open piece of land with maybe one wall in your way. But let's talk about what's in the way here, as Vanguard Gaming is going to be on defense first.
Again, a very nose to the grind push over here at A. Nebron finally going to see Ghost there. I was really confused as to how it took him so long to kill him. Is now laying down behind the A bomb site is PNXC. Nice trade from Wheezy. 3v3 here, a minute left. They do have that bomb over by A, but Wheezy going to be your player to watch here as he's popping 2 and Scad taking another. Oh my goodness, and just like that, it was a 3v3, now a 1v3. PNXE was back against the wall.
Back against the wall. But
Literally and figuratively.
And honestly, it's what they're going to have to put it back, but there it is. Vanguard Gaming takes it. But with all the figurative speech and the literal speech, these guys are going to be taking their first W. That is round 1 here, going over to Vanguard. Already a good start here. Now, Vanguard statistically is the better team, but of course, we're going to have to see if they can prove it against Kingsman.
Yeah, I believe if I saw the insights provided by Grilla correctly, that Vanguard was 3-0 on this map, so clearly well-versed in Search and Destroy on LSELO. And we'll see that potentially rear its teeth here as we do go to the offensive side. Ghostnami going to be carrying this bomb towards A.
Going to be taking it up, taking it down, and maybe locking these guys out here. But I'm looking forward to definitely hearing what these guys can do as the damage is just around the corner. S&D, pretty close. Dawn, first blood, takes out Scad. That's exactly the kind of gameplay we need to be seeing here. Let's see if they can keep that going.
Dawn taking a second. Huge kills over towards the A control side, giving them the distinct numbers advantage as pretty much everyone from this side of Kingsman now swarming towards the middle of the map, and Dawn is on a hunt for this last player. He wants the ace, but Wheezy will not allow it. Nice trades coming out of Kingsman, and that is an example of how you hold hands after you get the first 2 picks. Dawn putting them in phenomenal position for him and LeBron to run together, and Dawn says, hey, if I can't get the ace, then get my trade, and he said, absolutely.
Yeah, these guys are definitely here for it, and honestly, I can see what these guys are going to be going for. It is going to be quite risky, but 1-1 is the scoreboard here. KingsmanGG, they've taken themselves back with the defense, but that's got to ask the question. Is this defense sided for these two teams, how they've been able to compete, since only wins have been happening on the defense?
Well, I mean, early on, if you see back-to-back defensive wins, it tells me that whoever can snag an offense here might be a humongous factor, as Marski's trying to put that opinion to bed as he grabs first blood. I am a huge fan of looking at first bloods. I think being able to get the first kill and open up the map is instrumental in winning S&D. And you know what else is instrumental? Getting that bomb down, and it's already down at A. 3 players left alive of Vanguard. They've got a swarm.
And they got a swarm, but you know, this ain't Hydro. This isn't a map where you can jump in the water when the swarm's at your head, but that is going to be a pick that makes another player down. And here it is. Now all or nothing. Wheezy cannot breathe. KingsmanGG, no space for him to take it, and that's going to be a clean round.
Yeah, and an offensive round win at that, right? So we just talked about who is going to win that offensive round. That could be a game changer going forward. Kingsman saying, hold my beer, I got it.
Yeah, and they are absolutely making sure to chug that beer with them. Kingsman definitely bringing the heat back here. I remember that they actually got 3-0'd, I believe, previously by another team. So the fact that they were able to do some more damage helps them out a bit. But I need to see how they're going to be able to find this pick, find the damage, as Zappa, Wheezy, actually Zappa and Ghostnami both have 0 kills yet, which is kind of upsetting for them.
Yeah, I mean, especially after Zappa having that 28 kill game on Hardpoint, most kills in the lobby, I believe.
Yeah.
Again, I mean, we're seeing no cohesive push here from Vanguard on the offensive side. You saw Ghostnami put himself over in that position by Kegs. Nobody there to trade on the guy inside of A-bomb. If you're going to have that, you got to have somebody push towards those double doors and be ready to make entrance onto that A-bomb site. And now look at where it leaves them. Vanguard kind of disconnected here. They're close, but not really in any positions to trade.
Yeah, not exactly where you want to be in this position, but could be able to clean this up, as hopefully they are able to just find these picks. But look at that. Where are you going? Where are you going? Scad getting knocked down easily by Marskis, and looks like they're just going to keep lining up for him. Now only down to Zappa, who still has yet to get their kills.
Yeah, I mean, if you're Zappa, great time to get some kills. Would have been in this 1v4, but to no avail. That right there is a perfect round from Kingsman. Not a single player on the yellow squad falling. And in no small part, again, to some great play from Marskis. He says, I was iridescent last season in ranked play. And let me show you why. Holding up that B-bomb site and down into the tools area. Nice round coming out of Kingsman. Again, we've seen offensive and defensive wins from them now. And this right now is the round 2 win for Vanguard. I know it sounds redundant, but man, oh man, is 3-2 way better than 4-1.
Absolutely. And that is going to help them hopefully pick it up. But if they can secure it, Vanguard, though, the fact that they've lost both sides, attack and defense, tells me that KingsmanGG might just secure this. But right around the corner is that bomb carry. You get that, you win it, but you can't, as LeBron is going to get that player down. Zappa, yet again, 0 kills. Yet again, last player standing. Well, technically sitting, as they are sitting in this corner.
Fun fact for you. Did you know that you can wall bang the wall to the right that Zappa is laying down right now next to? You can wall bang that through the front entrance of A, which is unbelievable. I feel like I don't see people check that enough. But LeBron said, I don't care. I'm going to rotate all the way around to B. I like that play from LeBron and Marskis. They knew he had to be somewhere in towards the A site. They said, forget it. I'm going to rotate all the way around and plant the bomb at B, leaving Zappa in a tough 1v2 position here. Already only 30 seconds left. He's got to get some big kills here. And with no dead silence, if that trophy being packed, I don't see it happening.
Yeah, I mean, you haven't gotten a single kill yet. Can you get 2 to clutch it? Let's find out. You are a fragger. You're Zappa. Maybe tase him a little bit. There you go. Give him a taste of it. Doing the damage. Looking for more, but no. It's going to be another round down, and KingsmanGG is going to be taking that easy yet again.
I mean, I like the play there from Zappa. He played it right, I think. I mean, he played it patiently, opened the door, was trying to get some sound cues, anything to get some intel as to where that second player was. But a great example, again, of holding hands by Kingsman. And on a map as large as El Asilo, yet still so confined in your bomb sites, holding hands, playing trades is going to be an absolute necessity. And we just saw a masterclass once again from Kingsman on that B-bomb site.
Yeah, masterclass, definitely a good way to put it. But let's see which celebrity's teaching these guys, as these guys are really finding the damage so far. KingsmanGG locking it down. It's Don saying you're done. Getting another one down. It's going to be PNXC getting Zappa. But here we go. Wheezy is still going to be able to breathe a little bit. A sigh of relief as you get 2, leveling the playing field and keeping it going. But now Ghost Nami having to be the ghost of the night to find these picks, unfortunately, is in the middle of nowhere with no kills. How are they to clutch this up as they're on the attack side and Kingsman is 2 away from GG?
You're so punny. I love it. You're so smooth. You're so smooth with it, man. I love that. As again, we've got Dawn up on your top radio tower. Marski's playing right there with him over at that A control site, really selling all their eggs, putting all their eggs in one basket towards that side of the map, and Ghost making them pay for it because now Dawn is very disconnected from this A site, and Wheezy's in a good position to potentially catch this flank. See, patience is a virtue here, and they may just find it. Absolute snapper from Dawn, as now him and Ghost left in a 1v1. 30 seconds left.
30 seconds. 1v1. Ghost has managed to get your first and your second to make it so Vanguard takes it. Obviously, it's going to be a body shot bandit, but regardless of that, they are still in this game. They are not giving up match point advantage yet to the other side. So if Ghost Nami, wait, 328 damage? This bruh. So, I'm sorry.
He hasn't even been able to get into a gunfight. That's the thing, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely not this player's fault because they planted the bomb and they're on a streak of 2, so they might be able to pick up the pace. But of course, I'm looking forward to what Kingsman can do. I definitely have seen them play worse, and this is some of the best play that I've seen from them so far here at Season 6. But with Season 6 underway, it's going to be how you get the picks. Don gets 1, and let's see if they can keep it up. It's all yours.
Big entrance kill here for Ghost. He's on a 3-kill streak, and again, on that defensive side, it's so important to try and keep the numbers in your favor. They are even as it currently stands, but that player number 4, let's take a look at Dawn really quick, Hero, if we can. He may catch some incredible timing onto Wheezy here over in that top green area. Oh, he does see him cross. That's going to be instrumental information. They know he's up top watching that middle lane, and that's going to make grabbing that bomb or trying to play around grabbing that bomb a little bit easier for the side of Kingsman.
A little bit easier, hopefully easy enough, because these guys are quite a lot on the line. But let's see this, though. Not a whole lot of time remaining. And the bomb is now back in the hands of Marquis. Look at Wheezy, clean angle, guarding the door, but hey, to your right. Wait, LeBron didn't see him. Oh, that's so unfortunate. Oh, what?
Oh, the knife!
Oh! That's funny.
Wow.
That's close.
Wow.
Wow.
That was unreal.
I gotta
Wheezy,
watch this. I gotta watch
dude, that
it's in
was
slow
crazy.
motion. Oh.
Oh, Wheezy with the play of the game in my mind. Can we talk about not only the patience to let Dawn walk into his sights? I'm sure he got an audio cue of him popping that deady thanks to the sound equalizer that I'm sure everybody is using. Again, getting that sound cue, knowing that he's pushing him. He knows that he has to make a play. Wheezy doing a fantastic job of playing defensive. And then, of course, the knife, just the sprinkle on top of the cake. But Marski's upset about that and will take out the top fragger in the first blood here.
Wow. Taking that out. Absolutely beautiful with it. Let's hope that they can keep this going. Now, with Wheezy down, the player who just got a knife, unfortunately, is going to have to just be a little upset about that one. Let's see if their team can clutch it up. Ghost Nami was 0-5, now 4-5. Really picking up the pace with this 4 streak, but can they clutch it up? They know that they can wallbang that.
Oh, just wall bang the wall, dude. It bugs me so bad. I know we are casters and we have
irony. It sucks. It sucks.
Oh, man. I know that we're casters and we can see the outlines, but I'm just like, just shoot through it. Just shoot through it one time. You'll know he's there. But Nebron going to be the benefactor of that kill there. And again, bomb down now inside of A. Vanguard has done a great job of stringing these last 2 rounds together. They need a third one here to set it back to null, set it back to even Steven. Now it's a 2v3 though, and Scad and Zappa in tough positions. Dawn now making it a 1v3 for Zappa. He's going to need to get 3 times his total kills here in this round.
3 times the kills? Let's see if it's going to be enough.
Ooh.
Ooh, nah, it's not. KingsmanGG, they have taken yet another to make sure, hey, you're not that close to winning this game. You're not that close to putting it up. And now they have the match point advantage. They're pushing these players back so consistently, so beautifully, that this could just be the end here of game 2. And that would give not only match point, but honestly, a huge advantage with how far along we are in the group stage.
Yeah, of course. I mean, that one map that we talked about that Kingsman needed to win, already done and dusted. Now at this point, they're going for the series. It is 5-3, like you said. Match count here. Round count, not match count. Round count. Game count, if you will. Wheezy, 10 kills, 6 deaths. He's got more kills than the rest of his team combined. I want to see some entry frags here for the side of Kingsman. If you want to see them win this game, the streak could have been instrumental, but it does at least relay the information that the B site is open. DeBron opening it up with a first blood.
Opening it up and shutting them down. Let's see if they can keep that going, though. Vanguard Gaming, they need to win this round, and that they're down 2, down so much. They have to clutch this up. Let's see if they can figure it out.
The positioning here from Vanguard. They're not playing too aggressively. So we did have one player rage quit for the side of Vanguard, and now Wheezy left by himself, all by myself, as he's over by the orange truck, gonna be able to pick up one, trying to make it a second, and just like that, the onslaught, the swarming of Kingsman gonna be too much for the side of Vanguard Gaming, and we see a 6-3 victory. Now 2-0 to the side of Kingsman, as we will have an LSC low control after this. And man, oh man, things are going to get squirrely here on this LSC low control.
Honestly, pretty squirrely, though, as control is not where you want to be on this map, in my opinion. Agreed. I don't want to see how this is going to get played out because I'm afraid for the kind of weird plays that might come forth. For example, I just watched this less than an hour ago. I was watching some Call of Duty, and it was control LSELO yet again. And oh my god, it was dangerous. But before I keep going, let's head back over here. Again, special thank you to our sponsors, Grilla, Kindred Sauces as well. If you want some saucy gameplay, though, LSELO on this map with control. I'm not a fan. I'm personally not a fan of it. But, of course, how this game is going to be going, B-site. The same way that you saw how they took space when it came to S&D, it's going to transfer perfectly over to control. Because B-site, a pain in the butt, no one wants to go there. B-point in control is just a parking lot. It's just, you can't do anything. It's GG. So it's
I agree.
What are your thoughts?
I agree. I hate LSELO control. If you want me to be super honest, I think in all honesty, it is my least favorite map mode combination in the rotation right now, I think by a pretty long margin. I think, however, one thing that is nice about casting LSELO is because of how far those spawns can be pushed out, it makes for some very interesting clutch moments, especially towards that B site. You know, if you're down 17-8, you get one full wipe and stack at B, you can very much flip that round on its head. So we'll see if that's going to be capable of being done here for the side of Vanguard. It is now match point, not round point, not game point, match point for the side of Kingsman. We're going to throw you to a very quick break here as we get the lobby set up and ready to go. Actually, before we do that, I believe Hero is getting something set up on the back end. So before we do that here, let me talk about one more thing. Do we think that this goes to a map number 4, or do we think that the control or that the S&D and the hardpoint gameplay that we just saw from Kingsman is going to be indicative and transfer over to that map number 3?
Honestly, maybe. I think that it's going to transfer very well. These guys are going to be able to just throw themselves right across here. So that's scary. That's scary. I don't know if it's going to be good enough here from the side of Vanguard Gaming, as we saw the best they can do, and they kind of fell back a little bit. But with that in mind, I'm not sure if it's going to be similar because it's slightly different. The main difference is the fact that life advantage. Some of these players play as bait, and I say that with confidence because Nebron never really is positive KD. Is always baiting out so Don or Markskis can get these picks. So I'm thinking, you know, hey, with now lives on the line, with now if you die, you will respawn, the gameplay is going to be just enough different to see how these guys can compete.
I agree. I mean, I think one thing that we'll see is, will that consistent play from the side of Kingsman transfer over, right? I mean, we saw some incredible first bloods from both sides, but Kingsman really just pressing the point home and winning a majority of their gunfights. And that, I think, is going to play huge favors for the side of Kingsman, where that live advantage matters oh so much. Those spawns can be forced out so easily, and having to retake on this map is incredibly difficult process that requires some really cohesive teamwork, and I don't know if we've seen that out of Vanguard quite yet. But now finally we do have some highlights ready for you, so we're going to throw it over to a quick break. I'm going to grab a drink of water, and don't you go anywhere. We will be right back with map number 3, LSELO Control, right after this.
And here we go. Honestly, pretty exciting stuff here so far from these guys. Honestly, I expected more from Vanguard. They have never lost more than one game per best of 5 series. So it's a little risky to see them this close to taking an L. And honestly, they have already doubled the total losses they've taken in season 6.
Yeah, I mean, I think it really goes to show how well the Kingsmen can play if they are, playing cohesively as a team. These maps that we've seen, this map lineup is not one that is easily overtaken by one player having a standout game, right? I mean, it'd be different if we saw something like Embassy, where one player can pretty much single-handedly hold down 2 of those hills in being P4 and P5 if it's done correctly. But Hydro especially, very, very close quarters inside those hard points, and absolutely paramount that you play well and trade. So I think we're really seeing some great team play from Kingsman here. They've come to play tonight. They knew what was at stake, and man, oh man, they're putting themselves on the line.
Absolutely. They have put themselves so much on the line. The chopping block here, and lucky for them, it isn't the French Revolution, and these Kings get to stay alive because they are rocking it so far. I love the fact that they took LSE because that means this might be a 3-0, and the only reason I like that is because I think that the Kingsman needs a 3-0. They have to really just start popping off, or they are going to get tossed back a bit.
Agreed. Agreed. I think we're at a stage now where, with it being match point, it's now or never clearly for the side of Vanguard, but having a great showing here in this control on LSE, I think just as well as I know that competitive COD is very much a mental game, right? You can get in your own head, you can start to let the negative vibes bring you down, and a lot of teams here, I think, are very similar skill-wise. If we're putting them in individual 1v1 hard points, I think we would see a lot of very, very close games, right? It's all about how you're playing together, how you're communicating, and I think that play and communication is something that we will definitely have to check out during this map number 3. I want a listen in from both teams as this map is underway.
Yeah, and I honestly want to see what is going wrong, so I hope that the first listen-in is going to be in Vanguard, because something's going wrong there. But let's see how close we are to that game. Hero, any idea? Yell in my ears. Yeah. All right. We're gonna get all of that stuff in there. But yeah, so anyways, let's talk about standings. Wow.
That was an incredibly accurate rendition of Hero there. I can't lie. As
Anytime.
taking a look at these standings here again, top 3 from each division will be good to go for playoffs. If you see a green number, that means they have clinched playoffs already. No shadow of a doubt, they are ready to go. As Nola in final form tomorrow night on stream. That is going to be an absolute slobber knocker for that Delta division. As again, final form, a fantastic team. Nola Flight as well. Shoxy and company doing great things, not only here in K7 but also in the challenger scene as well. So gonna be a definite must watch match tomorrow night for the side of K7 with that Division Delta matchup. What are you thinking here, Edu? Do you think, with that Charlie division being so close, with the Alpha division being so far, with Vovin and Neoteric over in that Bravo division being so close, do you think we've seen some of the best of these teams, or do we think this last week really is going to make a difference going into playoffs?
Honestly, what these guys have, I think playoffs is going to be pretty risky, but I'm looking at Vovin as a team that knows how to come back. And sure. I think that really Bravo has a lot to prove. They haven't taken a whole lot. They've given a whole lot to Treaty 1 Gaming. So I think they need to start playing against other people besides Treaty 1, because it seems like they're just feeding 3-0s.
Especially with them already securing playoffs by an illustrious margin. 3-0, 9-0 map win-loss set up for the side of T1G. They have come out swinging, and they're definitely, going to be an incredible competitor going into playoffs. I don't know if they will get some serious challenging talent until they match up against the likes of Nakal, Final Form, or Noble Flight.
Yeah, and let's see this. See what these guys can do. Honestly, though, I'm looking at those standings with the only thing in my mind being hope that they can just... If you're in the losing bracket, before the losers bracket even becomes a thing, we'll see what happens. But it looks like Heroes Modern Warfare unexpectedly stopped working. So good job, Hero. Activision's doing great things for you. Now,
We love a good scan and repair over here.
oh, absolutely. 100%. But as we get that stuff back on its way, let's talk a little bit about what we have expectation-wise for playoffs. We've seen these players. Who do you think is guaranteed to get to playoffs? Obviously, Treaty 1 Gaming, but any others?
I mean, I think right now, given the current standings, I think we've got my prediction as it sits is probably top number 1 for each division is going to be NACAL, Treaty 1, obviously. I think, let's see, that would put them at 6-3 versus 6-5. I think Vanguard, actually, if Kingsman win this series, I think Vanguard is actually going to drop to second and give Kingsman the number 1 position in Charlie. And personally, I'm going to take Noah Flight over Final Form. I hate to say that. I love the guys over at Final Form, but I have watched Noah Flight here recently, and they are a force to be reckoned with. I'm going to take them in that series. So I think those are our number 1s across the 4 divisions. I think where it really matters is for the teams like Neoteric, Disengage, and Body Bag now. As to where they will fall in the standings. I think Neoteric is probably going to do so. Disengage, maybe. I believe they play Zero Common coming up this week, I believe. Or they already did. So Disengage pretty much going to guarantee playoffs as well. So those are the teams that I'm looking, right? Those teams that are on the bubble. I think those teams that are on the bubble have the most to prove as we go into playoffs. And if you are a team on the bubble coming out hot and starting with a nice solid map or 2 on some of these top 2 teams is going to be absolutely paramount.
Yeah, and I need to see what these guys can do. No matter what, I think that it's a little bit shocking to see some of these teams in the positions that they are. I think that some of these guys have been heavy hitters in the tier 2 scene for quite some time. So to see how their rosters have changed and therefore also their gameplay, it's a little disappointing. But the people who have come up big, I think, are going to only stay big, because here at Season 6, there's $1,000 on the line at the end of playoffs. So you can't really risk the chance of losing this. You gotta just take what you can. But of course, you know, we were talking a little bit about how us as casters, we've done so much work here for K7, and I know we've also done work across the scene, but some of these teams are also looking forward to trying to get a Liquipedia page. So just competing, you want to try to get at least fourth place to get themselves up, you know, and that's kind of important, making sure that you have all of these things in the line. But as we are hopefully seeing if things go well, let me ask you, do you think that when it comes to notability, the more work these teams put in, the more events they go to, is that worth the competition if they get absolutely floored?
I mean, I think it depends, right? It's a stacked question. I think coming from somebody that started as a player rather than a commentator, which I think is true for a lot of us who cast, I think there's sort of a give and take, right? Depends on, are you traveling to compete because you enjoy competing, right? Because I think that adds a whole nother facet into it. Is it worth it is sort of a question around, are you enjoying traveling and wasting your money? If you are, then, I mean, treat it like a mini vacation every time you drop X amount of dollars to go to a LAN and get absolutely floored, or, you know, every time you join an online tournament or an online league and get absolutely floored. But if you're trying to compete, to play at the highest level possible, I mean, you get floored a couple times, you try and find something else that works, and if you can't, then maybe it's time to become a caster.
Yeah, honestly, time to become a caster. But a good time to become a caster is also when gameplay is being able to be watched. But unfortunately for us, we do have a little bug. Hero's PC absolutely itself, so we're not going to be able to actually watch game 3 here. So we will go into a little bit of a break, and we'll come back with that control score. But fingers crossed it gets to game 4 so we can see some more Call of Duty today.
But he's definitely in there. One shot.
Focus your back. Still outer box.
Dead. I got her. That's a kid. That's a kid.
Okay, outer box.
On this white truck right here. He's on this truck right in front of me.
Are you pushed up like front way?
He's still on that truck stuck. He's still on this truck stuck.
Going deep right then.
What's he? He's still on that truck. One shot bunny off it. One shot on the truck. Alright, our top party.
Nice. Not him. Zappa. Nice. Good shit.
I got mad at you.
Robin Cruz. I don't see nobody.
Still deep right now.
Yo, yeah, two. There's one freaking. Wait, that's a bird. That was a bird.
I gave up deep right.
Oh, one's outer white.
Keg. One shot keg. He's going keg alley fast. White suit. I think there's two there.
They're taking B.
On front. He's on the front.
Outer point.
Oh, on the floor. Nice.
Fucking done.
Right.
Yo, they're gonna come back. Wait, no. We trolled. No.
Oh my god. Oh my gosh.
Fuck, we trolled. Oh,
Mission complete. Solid.
Oh, he's a Mike.
bro, I'm so sorry, dude. We would have had the freest fucking T4 round. Oh my god.
I'm about to hit up TJ. I'm about to hit up TJ if he got his fight yet. I'm about to hit up TJ.
Oh my god. We would have played Mohawk, Spart, Neptune.
Alright.
Bro, fuck.
Dude, this game is so many things wrong with it.
And welcome back, everybody, as we are here to really see how it ended, because it ended. Unfortunately, that would have been a 3-0 sweep from Kingsman. Now, Shifty, I gotta ask you, what was the final score for that?
3-1.
3-1
in that control. Again, we saw some great play. I hope you guys were able to see it. I believe Hero was able to make some stream magic happen and at least show you some of it from Marsky's point of view, as they were able to lock up the series 3-0 and I believe put themselves in first place in the Charlie division. So we were talking about, you know, them needing to win at least one map to put themselves to keep themselves in playoff contention, and they said, you know, I know we only need one map, but how about we give you
Yeah, and these guys definitely took it by storm there, and making sure to keep themselves crowned. And honestly, I think that might just be another way to look at it. Kingsman, they needed it. They absolutely took it back, and hopefully they'll be able to bring that royal level of gameplay yet again the next time we see them play. But as for today, I believe that's the only best of 5 we have. So a little bit disappointing on that end. But of course, still, we are here to see the overall group stage. It's not playoffs quite yet. It would suck if we lost a playoff match, but
right.
Knock on wood, I guess. But we'll see what happens there. Now, I gotta ask you, my friend Shifty, did you think that was gonna happen, considering the previous stats? Kingsman were the losers in it overall.
No, not necessarily. I didn't necessarily believe that was going to be the outcome. However, I have seen a lot of players on this Kingsman team, and I know that they can be a force to be reckoned with if they come out hot, and come out hot they did. So I'm not necessarily shocked. I won't say that I was extremely shocked by the performance, but I am happy to see that they came out swinging and were able to continue to flip the script, as Marsky's is so well known for doing. So again, congratulations to Kingsman for taking a nice series win.
Yeah, GG to Kingsman, an amazing job, and as always, it's been great to cast it, and it's nice to cast it with you, Shifty. I know that we've been 2 ships passing in the night, you know, but we don't really get a cast with each other, but now that we have, it's been quite fun. I'm kind of bummed that we didn't get a cast more together with that gameplay that would have been pretty nifty here, and it's always nifty to cast with Shifty, but of course, I gotta ask, when are we casting next together? Hero, you give me an answer instead of working on Photoshop.
I can't, bro. I will be gone tomorrow. Unfortunately, I will not be around tomorrow, but I think we may have some great opportunities coming up in the playoff time for us to spin the mics together one more time, at least for K7. It's been a blast. I'm happy to be back. I'm happy to be able to be back in the swing of commentating and knocking the dust off a little bit, as Eju's been a great person to knock that dust off with. And
I will shake you so hard that there will be not a speck of dust left on your body.
Beautiful. I love that. As my golden voiced friend on my left, on your side of the screen. I believe you should be on the left side. So
you're over there. If I point to you on where you're at, it works. But I don't think I can actually see you right now, unfortunately, because we're looking at Hero doing Photoshop for the past 10 minutes. I'm glad the standings are getting updated, but I'm glad there we go.
Hello!
Yeah, we're just winging it right now. We didn't know what was happening. No, we are going to be casting tomorrow, everybody. Shifty's not going to be joining me, unfortunately. But with that in mind, it's been fun to cast with you guys yet again. Thank you again to Kindred Sauces for being our wonderful sponsor here to give us our standings before we give it up, because as we were watching, Hero made sure to keep our standings nice and up to date. Hopefully he can get these put in time. But, you know, again, special shout out to Gorilla as well. They are the people who organize the tournaments. So if you guys want to organize your own tournaments and or check out Gorilla.gg, go there at Gorilla.gg and see what they have to offer you guys. And of course, use codes here. I believe we have a code that we have to know for K7. It's like is it Dark 7 or K7?
K7.
K7 code. Use those. Use your coupon code at checkout. Also install Honey.
True. Big shout out to what isn't a sponsor but should be a sponsor. Absolutely.
Big shout
and
out
a
to
new
the White
one.
House.
A new one, right? I mean, we have Obscure Tech.
Obscure
now,
Tech there.
Your official partner of the K7 League. Build your own custom PC, be it for or your product.
It was Dark 7. I wasn't. Don't gaslight me.
Dark 7 for that one. Use code Dark 7 for 8% off of your purchase over at Obscure Tech. We love you guys. Thank you for providing what you do.
And also, big shout out to Taco Bell. I'm going to be getting you after work. Thank you very much.
Humongous shouts out to T-Bell. But I believe that's going to be it for us. Thank you for joining us. Thank you, Hero, for driving ever so elegantly as you always do. And thank you, Eju, for being here with me tonight. As, again, GG's to Kingsman. 3-0 sweep for the night. And that was your K7 match night. We will see you again tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel over here at the K7 COD League Twitch.
I'm smiling.
Let's get.
I'm gonna be careful because then he's trying to get that kill. Never mind it.
Making it so that if they try to go for aspect here at the end, quick transfer, expect them to the iconic legends.
less coming in from him. And you also gotta look at Iconic here, man. This guy's already on a 4 spree looking to get that
mentality to try and hold on and just round it. You can work
from the side of Natural Talent, Hype Esports. They're just gonna rush on in, Ryan, and shoot at every single.
So far, not the case. Night Marchers, they have controlled it themselves. Looking to find a way forward, find the first and the second. Not quite the third just yet. The time still ticking in the favor of the Night Marchers. As